The enigmatic allure of Georgia's most haunted home in the heart of Georgia, where the whispers of ancient oaks blend with the sultry southern breeze, lies a house shrouded in an aura of mystery and dread. This is no ordinary dwelling. It stands as a monumental testament to the eerie and inexplicable, a place where the past refuses to remain buried and the air itself seems thick with the weight of unspoken secrets. Known far and wide as the most haunted home in Georgia, this residence has captured the imagination of thrill-seekers and skeptics alike, drawing them into its chilling embrace with promises of supernatural encounters that defy logical explanation. The legend of this haunted abode is steeped in tales of tragedy and terror, each room echoing with the footsteps of those who once called it home but never truly left. It is said that on certain nights, when the moon casts long shadows across its weathered facade, the house comes alive with the sounds of phantom wails and ghostly apparitions that roam the halls. These spectral inhabitants, bound by unseen chains to their earthly prison, weave a tapestry of horror that continues to captivate and terrify all who dare to cross its threshold. This article embarks on a journey through the dark corridors of history and hearsay, peeling back the layers of myth and reality that cloak this infamous structure. We delve deep into the origins of its haunting reputation, exploring the tragic events and mysterious occurrences that have marked its storied past. From the chilling accounts of former residents who speak of doors slamming shut on their own and shadowy figures glimpsed from the corner of one's eye, to the documented investigations by paranormal experts armed with the latest in ghost hunting technology, we uncover the evidence that fuels the fire of fear surrounding this Georgian gem of terror. As we navigate through these tales of spectral sorrow and unearthly unrest, prepare to have your curiosity piqued and your courage tested. Whether you are a skeptic seeking rational explanations or a believer eager to explore the realms beyond our understanding, this exploration into Georgia's most haunted home promises to be a riveting odyssey into the unknown. So dim the lights, gather your wits, and let us step cautiously into the shadowy world of this haunted haven, where every creak of the floorboards could herald a brush with the supernatural. Echoes from the past, the historical tapestry of Georgia's most haunted home. To fully grasp the spectral essence that permeates Georgia's most haunted home, one must first traverse the intricate pathways of its history. A narrative woven with threads of prosperity, tragedy, and relentless spirits. Originally constructed in the early 19th century, the mansion was envisioned as a symbol of southern opulence, standing proudly amidst sprawling acres of fertile land. Its initial years were marked by lavish parties and the genteel lifestyle characteristic of the antebellum South, hosting gatherings that echoed with laughter and the clinking of crystal glasses. However, beneath the veneer of elegance lay a foundation marred by the harsh realities of its era. The mansion was built upon the toil of enslaved laborers whose lives were intertwined with the very walls they erected. Their stories, though largely silenced by history, whisper through the ages, contributing to the home's haunting atmosphere. As the Civil War erupted, the estate witnessed the tumultuous clash of ideologies, with battles spilling onto its grounds and leaving scars that time could not heal. Soldiers from both sides fell within sight of its grandiose windows, their blood seeping into the soil, forever binding their restless spirits to the property. Post-war recovery saw the mansion change hands multiple times, each new owner adding layers to its already complex history. In the late 1800s, a particularly notorious period began when the home was acquired by a wealthy industrialist known for his eccentricities and rumored cruelty. Legends tell of secret passages used to smuggle illicit goods, and of underground chambers where unspeakable acts transpired. It was during this time that the first reports of supernatural occurrences began to surface. Servants spoke in hushed tones of hearing disembodied voices and feeling cold spots in otherwise warm rooms. The 20th century ushered in a series of tragedies that further cemented the mansion's reputation as a nexus of paranormal activity. A devastating fire in the 1920s claimed several lives, including those of children, whose mournful cries are said to echo through the charred remains of their nursery. Each subsequent owner reported increasingly bizarre phenomena: lights flickering without cause, objects moving of their own accord, and the chilling sensation of being watched in the dead of night. Historians and paranormal investigators have meticulously pieced together this fragmented past, revealing patterns of death and despair that seem to resonate through the halls of the mansion. Documented incidents include photographs capturing shadowy figures lurking in corners, audio recordings filled with indistinct murmurs, and eyewitness accounts describing full-bodied apparitions that vanish into thin air. These findings suggest a convergence of historical trauma and supernatural energy, creating a vortex where the past and present collide in a dance of spectral unrest. Thus, the haunted home stands not merely as a relic of architectural grandeur but as a living museum of horrors, each room imbued with the echoes of yesteryears. Its history, marked by war, crime, and misfortune, serves as a backdrop against which the current hauntings play out, a continuum of despair that transcends time itself. As we delve deeper into specific accounts of spectral encounters, it becomes evident that the mansion's past is not a mere collection of old stories but a breathing entity that continues to cast its shadow over the present. Personal encounters with the supernatural amidst the creaking floors and shadow-filled corridors of Georgia's most haunted home. Countless individuals have reported experiences so spine-chilling they blur the lines between the natural and the supernatural. These personal accounts, rich with vivid detail and raw emotion, serve not only as harrowing testimonials to the house's haunted reputation but also as poignant narratives that underscore the profound impact such encounters can have on the human psyche. Take, for instance, the testimony of Emily Carter, a former caretaker whose tenure at the mansion spanned a brief yet unforgettable 6 months. Emily recounts how her first encounter occurred on a stormy night, as lightning illuminated the sky in sporadic bursts. Tasked with locking up the vast estate, she found herself alone in the grand library, a room notorious among staff for its eerie ambience. As she turned to leave, a sudden gust of wind slammed the heavy oak door shut, plunging her into darkness. Her flashlight flickered erratically before dying completely, leaving her enveloped in an oppressive silence. It was then that she felt it, a cold, clammy hand brushing against her neck, followed by a voice, faint yet unmistakable, whispering her name. Overwhelmed by terror, Emily fled the room, her breath hitching as she swore she saw a translucent figure retreating into the shadows. Then there is Mark Thompson, a paranormal investigator renowned for his skepticism, who led a team into the mansion hoping to debunk its legends. Armed with state-of-the-art equipment, Mark and his crew set up base in what was once the master bedroom. Throughout the night, their devices captured anomalies that defied conventional explanation: temperature drops of up to 20 degrees in localized areas, orbs of light darting across the room, and EVP recordings capturing distinct phrases like, "Leave us," and "Not yours." However, it was the visual sighting that truly unnerved Mark. Reviewing footage from one of their infrared cameras, he noticed a figure standing at the foot of the bed, cloaked in a Victorian-era gown, her face obscured by a veil. The figure remained motionless for several minutes before vanishing, leaving Mark questioning the very fabric of reality. Perhaps one of the most unsettling reports comes from Sarah Ellis, a local historian conducting research on the mansion's architectural evolution. During her visit, Sarah opted to work late into the evening, drawn to the tranquility offered by the deserted halls. As midnight approached, she decided to take a break in the conservatory, a glass-enclosed space lush with exotic plants. Absorbed in her notes, she failed to notice the gradual drop in temperature until her breath fogged in front of her. Looking up, she froze. A child, pale and gaunt, stood mere feet away, his eyes hollow and pleading. Before she could react, the boy extended a bony finger towards the exit, his lips mouthing words she could not hear. Instinctively, Sarah gathered her belongings and fled, later discovering through archives that a young boy had perished in a fire in that very room decades ago. These accounts, among many others, weave a tapestry of terror that drapes heavily over the mansion, challenging our perceptions of reality and inviting us to consider the possibility that some places are indeed imbued with energies and presences beyond human comprehension. Each story adds another layer to the legend, compelling even the staunchest skeptics to ponder the inexplicable allure and enduring enigma of Georgia's most haunted home. Analyzing recurring themes of paranormal activity within the chilling confines of Georgia's most haunted home, a distinct pattern emerges when examining the multitude of personal accounts shared by those brave, or perhaps foolhardy, enough to spend time within its spectral walls. These recurring themes not only lend credibility to the claims of paranormal activity, but also provide intriguing insights into the nature and mechanics behind these haunting phenomena. One prevalent theme is the manifestation of poltergeist-like activities. Numerous witnesses describe experiencing objects moving without any apparent cause, often accompanied by loud bangs or crashes. Furniture shifts positions overnight, pictures fall off walls, and doors slam shut with great force, seemingly of their own volition. Such physical disturbances suggest a form of kinetic energy manipulation, commonly associated with poltergeists. These entities are theorized to interact with the environment through psychokinetic means, driven by emotions or unresolved conflicts tied to the location. Another frequent occurrence involves auditory manifestations. Visitors report hearing disembodied voices, footsteps, and other unexplained sounds echoing through the empty halls. These noises range from indistinct murmurs to clear, intelligible phrases that seem to emanate from nowhere. Some claim to hear children laughing or crying, while others recount sinister whispers urging them to leave. This auditory phenomenon aligns with electronic voice phenomena, EVP, often captured during paranormal investigations, suggesting communication attempts by residual or intelligent spirits. The prevalence of these sounds indicates areas within the home where spiritual energy might be concentrated, possibly linked to traumatic events or emotional attachments. Visual sightings form another significant pattern. Many describe witnessing apparitions, shadowy figures, ethereal women in period clothing, and even lifelike representations of deceased former residents. These apparitions typically appear briefly before vanishing, sometimes passing through solid objects or fading into thin air. The consistency in these visual encounters suggests specific locations within the mansion act as focal points for spirit manifestations. For instance, the library and the master bedroom are frequently cited as hotspots, likely due to their historical significance and the intense emotions experienced there in the past. Additionally, the timing and conditions under which these encounters occur add another layer to the analysis. Most reports coincide with particular times of the year, especially around anniversaries of known historical tragedies or during phases of the moon believed to amplify psychic energy. Environmental settings, such as dense fog or electrical storms, also tend to enhance the intensity of these encounters. This correlation implies that atmospheric conditions might act as conduits for paranormal manifestations, facilitating interactions between the living and the dead. By examining these common themes and patterns, we begin to unravel the complex web of supernatural occurrences that define Georgia's most haunted home. Each element enriches the tapestry of terror, offering clues about the forces at play and challenging us to reconsider our perceptions of reality and the unseen realms that lie just beyond. As we delve deeper into these mysteries, the blurred lines between the natural and the supernatural become ever more intriguing, inviting further investigation into the underlying mechanics of these haunting phenomena. Rational explanations and cultural beliefs surrounding Georgia's haunted home. While the spine-chilling tales of Georgia's most haunted home capture the imagination, they also invite scrutiny from skeptics who seek rational explanations for the alleged supernatural phenomena. A critical examination reveals that several factors, rooted in psychology, environment, and cultural context, could contribute to these haunting experiences without invoking the paranormal. Psychologically, the power of suggestion plays a pivotal role. Individuals venturing into the mansion are often well aware of its notorious reputation, predisposing them to expect unusual occurrences. This expectation can trigger a phenomenon known as pareidolia, where the mind perceives familiar patterns, such as faces or figures, in random stimuli. For instance, the flickering of candlelight through antique chandeliers might be misinterpreted as ghostly apparitions, or the silhouette of a draped window might be mistaken for a spectral figure. The anticipation of encountering something supernatural primes visitors to interpret ambiguous sensory inputs as definitive proof of hauntings. Environmental conditions also significantly influence perceptions within the haunted home. The mansion's geographic features, such as drafty hallways and uneven flooring, create an atmosphere ripe for optical illusions and acoustic anomalies. Temperature inversions, common in large, enclosed spaces, can cause sound waves to bend, leading to eerie echoes or the perception of distant, disembodied voices. Similarly, the building's age contributes to structural peculiarities that might manifest as supernatural. Settling wood, for example, can produce creaks and groans that mimic footsteps or slamming doors, reinforcing the illusion of a haunted house. Moreover, the cultural and historical context of the region shapes the interpretation of these experiences. Georgia, steeped in rich folklore and historical narratives, provides a fertile ground for ghost stories. The cultural emphasis on storytelling and the supernatural, amplified by local legends and media portrayals, encourages the perpetuation of these tales. Additionally, the historical tragedies associated with the mansion, such as wartime skirmishes and violent crimes, embed a collective memory of grief and loss, which can manifest in contemporary narratives of haunting. Skeptics argue that many reported sightings and sensations can be attributed to these combined factors. For example, the sensation of being watched, a common report among visitors, might stem from heightened awareness due to fear, compounded by the mansion's secluded and dimly lit nature. Similarly, the malfunctioning of electronic devices, often cited in paranormal accounts, could result from electromagnetic interference caused by outdated wiring or nearby power lines rather than supernatural intervention. By considering these rational explanations, one gains a broader perspective on the haunting phenomena of Georgia's most feared home. While the allure of the supernatural persists, understanding the interplay of psychological predispositions, environmental effects, and cultural influences offers a grounded approach to interpreting these eerie encounters. Such analysis does not necessarily debunk the legends, but enriches our appreciation of the complex tapestry of human experience and perception that contributes to the enduring mystique of the haunted mansion. The encounters within the shadow-laden halls of Georgia's most haunted home do not dissipate with the closing of a door or the departure from its premises. For those who have faced the supernatural firsthand, the aftermath lingers, deeply etching itself into their psyche. The psychological impact of these spectral interactions is profound, often leading to a cascade of emotions and mental health challenges that extend far beyond the initial fright. Consider the case of Laura Bennett, a freelance writer who spent a month documenting the mansion's haunted history. Laura describes sleepless nights plagued by vivid nightmares that replay her encounters with chilling accuracy. In her dreams, the spectral figures she had seen, pale and translucent, reappear, always just beyond her reach, whispering her name in voices too close for comfort. Her insomnia evolved into chronic fatigue, a condition exacerbated by her constant state of hypervigilance. Even in broad daylight, Laura finds herself compelled to check every shadow and corner, a habit born from the fear that the ghosts might follow her beyond the mansion's walls. Similarly, veteran paranormal investigator James Miller speaks of a pervasive sense of dread that clings to him like a second skin. Despite his extensive experience and exposure to supposedly haunted sites worldwide, nothing prepared him for the inexplicable phenomena he witnessed in the mansion. The sight of objects moving independently, and the chilling sensation of unseen eyes watching him left him questioning his grasp on reality. James has since sought therapy to cope with the anxiety and stress disorders that have surfaced, struggling to reconcile his empirical worldview with the surreal experiences that defy logic. For others, the impact manifests in more subtle ways. Take Emily Carter, a former caretaker at the mansion who now struggles with social withdrawal and strained relationships. Her immersion into the world of the supernatural began as professional curiosity but soon morphed into a personal obsession. Emily found herself drawn to the mansion at odd hours, driven by an insatiable need to prove or disprove the existence of the otherworldly. This relentless pursuit led to erratic behavior, as friends and family grew concerned about her increasingly obsessive tendencies. Mental health professionals note that the symptoms exhibited by these individuals align with post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, albeit triggered by events that lack physical endangerment. The brain's response to perceived threats, whether real or imagined, activates the same fight-or-flight mechanisms, flooding the body with adrenaline and cortisol. Over time, this hormonal surge can lead to heightened anxiety, depression, and a host of psychosomatic symptoms. Moreover, the communal aspect of these haunting tales cannot be overlooked. In Georgia, the shared lore of the haunted home creates a collective consciousness that reinforces individual experiences. This societal validation can intensify the psychological impact, as victims find themselves caught in a feedback loop of fear and fascination. The more they hear similar stories, the more real their own experiences feel, perpetuating a cycle of trauma that is difficult to break. Ultimately, the people who have walked, or lived temporarily, the haunted home carry their experiences like invisible scars. These encounters transform them, reshaping their perceptions of the world and their place within it. As they navigate the aftermath, they join a silent fraternity of souls touched by the supernatural, forever changed by the unseen forces that dwell in the shadows of Georgia's most haunted abode. Navigating the spectral legacy, the haunting tales of Georgia's most notorious home have rippled through the community, prompting a spectrum of responses from local authorities, businesses, and residents. Each group has played a unique role in shaping the narrative and, inadvertently or deliberately, contributing to the mansion's legendary status. Local authorities, primarily tasked with public safety, have historically approached the haunted home with a blend of pragmatism and caution. Recognizing the site's dangerous reputation, law enforcement agencies have increased patrols during peak hours of reported supernatural activity, aiming to deter trespassing and ensure the safety of curious visitors. However, the ambiguous nature of the incidents, often lacking concrete evidence, has made it challenging for officials to address the supernatural claims directly. Instead, they focus on maintaining order and preventing accidents, subtly acknowledging the home's eerie allure by hosting annual safety campaigns that double as ghost tours, cleverly combining public service with local lore. Businesses in the vicinity have seized the opportunity presented by the haunted home's fame, transforming potential fear into profit. Entrepreneurs have capitalized on the supernatural appeal by opening themed cafes, gift shops, and tour companies dedicated to ghost hunting and paranormal investigations. These ventures not only cater to tourists eager to experience the thrill of the haunted mansion firsthand but also stimulate the local economy, creating jobs and boosting revenue. Notably, the Phantom's Rest Inn, a hotel strategically located near the mansion, markets itself as the closest accommodation to the supernatural hotspot, offering packages that include guided night tours and psychic readings, thus solidifying its status as a must-visit destination for enthusiasts. Residents of Georgia exhibit a spectrum of reactions to the haunted home's fame, reflecting the diverse fabric of the community. Some view the home's haunted reputation with pride, seeing it as an integral part of the region's cultural identity and a testament to its rich, albeit macabre, history. These residents often participate actively in preserving the stories, acting as custodians of the oral traditions passed down through generations. Others, however, express concern over the influx of outsiders and the potential disruption to their tranquil neighborhoods. The tension between embracing tourism and maintaining community integrity is palpable, sparking lively debates in town hall meetings and local forums. Community leaders have attempted to bridge these divides by organizing events that celebrate the home's legacy while promoting responsible tourism. Annual festivals, featuring storytelling sessions, art exhibits, and theatrical performances inspired by the haunted mansion, aim to engage the community in a dialogue about its past and future. These events not only foster a sense of unity and shared heritage but also encourage residents to take ownership of the narrative, steering it away from mere sensationalism towards a deeper appreciation of the home's historical significance. Through these varied responses, the haunted home remains a dynamic and evolving entity, continuously shaped by the actions and attitudes of those it touches. As Georgia grapples with the complexities of its spectral landmark, the mansion serves as a powerful reminder of the intricate interplay between fear, fascination, and folklore in the human experience. Navigating the supernatural veil, safety tips and precautions. Embarking on a journey into Georgia's most haunted home requires more than just courage. It demands preparation and respect for the unknown forces that reportedly haunt its expanse. To assist those daring enough to explore this eerie edifice, we've compiled a comprehensive set of safety tips and precautions. These guidelines are designed not only to protect potential adventurers but also to honor the solemnity of the site, ensuring that visits are conducted responsibly and respectfully. First and foremost, it is crucial to equip oneself with the right gear. A reliable flashlight with extra batteries should be considered essential, as the mansion is notorious for its sudden envelopment in thick shadows that drastically reduce visibility. Alongside illumination tools, carrying a fully charged mobile phone is advisable, though it's important to remember that signal strength can be inconsistent in such remote interiors. For communication purposes, it might be wise to inform someone trustworthy of your plans and expected return time, providing them with details of your intended route. Dressing appropriately for the unpredictable weather conditions typical of Georgia is another key consideration. Layered clothing can help manage the temperature fluctuations, and sturdy footwear is recommended to handle the potentially uneven terrain. Moreover, wearing reflective clothing can enhance visibility to any other nocturnal explorers, reducing the risk of accidents. When planning your visit, choosing the right time can make a significant difference. Avoiding nights of significant celestial events, such as full moons or meteor showers, might be prudent, as these periods are often associated with heightened paranormal activity according to local legends. Additionally, visiting during less popular times can minimize encounters with other thrill seekers, allowing for a more contemplative and safer experience. Behavioral precautions are equally important. Maintaining a respectful attitude towards the mansion and its reputed inhabitants is paramount. This means refraining from provocative actions such as shouting, playing loud music, or attempting to engage with any apparitions that might appear. Such behaviors could potentially escalate the situation, inviting unwanted attention or stirring dormant energies. For those interested in documenting their experience, using cameras or recording devices should be done thoughtfully. Ensure that all equipment is in good working order and, importantly, be prepared for the possibility of capturing unexpected phenomena. However, remember that the primary focus should remain on personal safety rather than gathering evidence. Lastly, always trust your instincts. If a location feels overwhelmingly oppressive or unsafe, it is wise to retreat. The supernatural, if indeed present, operates on rules and boundaries not fully understood by humans. Respecting these unseen limits can be the difference between a thrilling adventure and a perilous ordeal. By adhering to these safety tips and precautions, explorers can navigate the haunted home with a greater sense of security and respect, ensuring that their encounter with the supernatural is both enlightening and safeguarded. Echoes of the Eerie. Reflecting on the haunted legacy as the final echoes of our haunted journey through Georgia's most infamous home dissipate into the night, we find ourselves lingering at the intersection of fear and fascination, a place where the past refuses to rest and the supernatural dances tantalizingly at the edge of our understanding. This mansion, steeped in centuries of whispered secrets and spectral sorrows, stands not merely as a relic of architectural prowess but as a living testament to the enduring human intrigue with the unknown. It beckons us to question the boundaries of reality, to peer beyond the veil of the mundane, and to confront the shadows that linger in the corners of our consciousness. The stories we've traversed, from the chilling apparitions that haunt the twilight hours to the eerie encounters that challenge the very fabric of belief, are more than mere compilations of terror. They are fragments of a larger narrative that speaks to the universal human experience of confronting mortality and the mysteries that lie beyond. Each ghostly figure and spectral sound echoes a deeper truth about our fears, hopes, and the eternal quest for understanding in the face of the inexplicable. In weaving these narratives, we have not only recounted the spine-tingling events that have cemented the mansion's haunted reputation but also peeled back the layers of history and emotion that give these stories their weight. The mansion acts as a mirror, reflecting our deepest anxieties and desires, urging us to look beyond the surface and consider the unseen forces that shape our world. It challenges us to embrace the unknown, to find beauty in the eerie, and to acknowledge the shadows that walk alongside us in the journey of life. As storytellers and listeners, we are reminded of the delicate balance between fear and fascination, between skepticism and belief. The haunted home in Georgia is a powerful symbol of this duality, a place where the veil between worlds is tantalizingly thin. It beckons us to step closer, to listen to the whispers of the past, and to open our minds to the possibilities that lie just beyond the edge of comprehension. In conclusion, the legacy of this haunted mansion is not confined to the tales of terror that echo through its desolate corridors. It is a living, breathing entity that continues to evolve with each retelling, each new encounter, and each visitor who dares to cross its threshold. It invites us to keep exploring, to keep questioning, and to keep telling stories that bind us to the mysterious and the magical. So, as you ponder the tales told here, remember that the mansion awaits, ready to reveal its secrets to those brave enough to seek them. And perhaps, in its silence, you will find your own story waiting to be told. Join us in the shadows, your next step into the unknown. As the final echoes of our haunted journey fade into the stillness of the night, we extend an invitation to you, dear reader, to step beyond the confines of mere words and immerse yourself in the visceral realm of the supernatural. Our haunted storytelling channel is more than a repository of eerie tales. It is a gateway to experiencing the spectral firsthand, a community bound by a shared fascination with the dark corners of our world. We urge you to subscribe to our channel, where each video unfurls new mysteries and introduces you to realms that blur the line between the seen and the unseen. With every episode, we delve deeper into the heart of darkness, bringing you closer to the pulse of the paranormal. Our content is crafted not only to entertain but to educate, provoke thought, and inspire a deeper understanding of the stories that haunt our collective consciousness. Engagement is the lifeblood of our channel. We invite you to activate notifications, ensuring that you are always at the forefront of our explorations into the unknown. By doing so, you will be the first to witness our latest investigations, unravel new ghostly narratives, and participate in live discussions that bring our community closer together. Your participation fuels our journey, and your insights and reactions breathe life into the stories we share. But why stop at passive consumption? We encourage you to become an active part of our storytelling tribe. Share your thoughts, theories, and personal encounters in the comments section of our videos. Engage with fellow enthusiasts, debate the intricacies of the supernatural, and perhaps contribute a chapter to our ever-expanding anthology of the haunted. Your voice matters, and together, we can weave a richer, more textured tapestry of terror that resonates with authenticity and depth. Moreover, consider spreading the spectral seeds of our channel to friends and family who share your penchant for the paranormal. Every share, every recommendation extends our reach and fortifies our community, enabling us to explore even more daunting territories and unearth hidden gems of ghostly lore. As we continue to traverse the shadowy paths of haunted histories and spectral encounters, remember that your support and interaction are invaluable. They not only sustain our endeavors but also empower us to push the boundaries of horror storytelling. So, arm yourself with curiosity and courage, and join us as we venture forth into the twilight zone of the supernatural. Together, let's keep the shadows alive, one haunting tale at a time.